Thank you, Mr. Williams, and a pleasant good afternoon to everyone. My task is to share with you the Health Emergency Operating Center Situation Report for today, Monday, June the 1st. Now, this microscopic organism has tracked through so many continents so far, left Asia, Europe, North America, Central America, South America. It has impacted the Caribbean. Based on data from the World Health Organization, we have 6,057,853 confirmed cases so far, and it has caused over 371,166 deaths globally. Here in the Federation, we have been lucky in that we have only had 15 confirmed cases so far. Today we are at day 42 since we would have announced our last case. So far we've tested almost 400 persons with as many as 381 samples returning negative. Today we have no results pending. At present, we have 7 persons in a government-designated facility. They are quarantined there, and to date we have 815 persons who would have been released from quarantine. All our cases have recovered. So today we are going to focus on COVID-19 and obesity. Now, the latest information coming out of China and North America tells us that there seems to be some association with obesity and our body mass index and the severity of COVID-19. And this information is important because, as you are aware, we would have contained the first wave of COVID-19 infections, and we are told that there will be a second wave. And so it's important for us to be able to identify those individuals who would be at an increased risk of hospitalization and ICU admission when impacted by COVID-19. And so the data or the science is telling us that there is a high prevalence of obesity amongst patients with severe COVID-19. So they looked at a number of patients in China, and they found that the patients with severe COVID-19 and those who would have died from COVID-19, they had a high BMI or body mass index, which is really your weight based on your height. So you and I, we can calculate our BMI by weighing or noting our weight in kilograms and dividing it by our height in meters squared. And so what they found is that individuals whose BMI was higher than 25, they didn't do very well with COVID-19. Data coming out of New York City in the United States suggest that obesity, meaning persons who have a BMI over 30, this might be a risk factor for ICU admission, particularly in persons who are even younger than 60 years of age. So just a little bit about BMI. If your BMI is between 18.5 and 24.9, you would say that you are at a normal weight for your height. If your BMI is between 25 and 29.9, you are deemed overweight. And if your BMI is 30 or over, you are deemed as obese. And so we want to recommend that you take all the necessary actions to control your weight and to reduce your weight if your BMI is over 25. Now, some of the Well, apart from your weight and the association between obesity and the severe, the severe aspects of COVID-19, even the response measures makes the situation worse, because some of the COVID-19 response measures included isolation if you were diagnosed with it. If you were a contact, you would have been asked to go into quarantine, and that's for 14 days. So your movement would be restricted. And if you are overweight or obese, this would make it worse. And again, the severe restrictions that we employed to facilitate physical and social distancing also would make obesity worse, because when we went through the long period of lockdown, we all found it, a bit difficult or challenging in terms of accessing the fruits and the vegetables and the plant-based foods that are required to eat healthily. And I dare not say we weren't able to move around as we ought to. So physical inactivity was an issue. And these factors only make obesity worse. And so now, as we relax these restrictions, all right, so now we have all days, limited operation. We can move around between 6 a.m. and 7:30 p.m. We want to recommend that you choose healthy food options. Make sure you get your 3 to 5 servings of fruits and vegetables. And most importantly, we want you to exercise in order to reduce your risk of COVID-19 and its complications. So in conclusion, persons living with obesity, seems to be at an increased risk of the severe form of COVID-19. And so prevention and control of obesity are critical and essential actions in the response to this pandemic. I thank you.